When you're in a relaxed, calm, slower pace, you take in so much more, you notice so much more, and it reflects in how you feel internally. You feel more relaxed. Hello and welcome back. Now, just before we get started, if you are watching this on the Total Somatics YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell. So whenever I drop an episode, you find out very quickly. And I also just want to let you know that currently the Total Somatics online membership doors are open. So if you'd like to join, please go to totalsomatics.com and click on the Join Now page and you'll find out all the details there. So please come along before I close the doors to the membership. Now, in today's episode, what I want to do is share with you this wonderful opportunity that I've had in recent weeks to teach for the Shift Network. And it's been a lovely time. I've had a lovely time. And there's been a wonderful group that I've been able to teach. And it's been great because they've been able to take away with them life skills and techniques, and they've empowered themselves with somatic movement education and clinical somatic education overall. However, what I want to share with you is that the vast majority of people around the world and people that I've worked with over the years, and even interactions that I've had with people during this course, is that many people are healing from a dysregulated nervous system. So to heal from a dysregulated nervous system is really crucial, because to heal from it allows our soma to truly recuperate, repair, and recalibrate. And so what I'd like to do is share with you today how I encourage the group to actually enhance their personal practice, their personal somatic movement practice in particular, so that they turn can regulate their nervous system. So there's 4 points that I want to share with you today. So the first point is the importance of making your somatic movements slow and small. And what I did is I shared with them a little picture of a car. And I said to them, it's really important to become reacquainted with ourselves. And we can only do that if we make our movements slow and small and we allow there to be a pause. Otherwise, it's using the analogy of this little car that I shared with them. And I said, if you jump into a car and you start driving around very quickly, you've got to drive around everywhere really fast, it makes your vision blinkered, very narrow. It also heightens and stresses your nervous system out, and you notice less because you're speeding and racing around. You feel really uptight, and at the end of it, you're pretty exhausted. Whereas when we get in the car and we get ourselves settled and we start just driving at a steady pace, our vision becomes wider. Although we're watching the road, we're curious and we're noticing things such as the kestrel that's hovering over the road or over the fields nearby. Or we're just more relaxed and we're more conducive to not only taking in our surroundings, but reading the road and really understanding what's going on. Do I need to just draw back a little bit more, give them a little bit more stopping distance, a bit more space between the cars? When you're in a relaxed, calm, slower pace, you take in so much more, you notice so much more, and it reflects in how you feel internally. You feel more relaxed. And so that's what I want to share with that first point, is when we make our movements slow and small, we are noticing all the feedback, all that internal information. And in the last few episodes, I've actually referred to the importance of increasing our internal awareness, because when we can sense and feel from within, then we can change, we can create movement, we can stop ourselves from living in this locked survival stress response. So noticing those slow, subtle movements, it's a bit like reacquainting ourselves. If we've lived in our head for many years, we've not noticed what it's like to truly inhabit or sense and feel our body. So it's like becoming a friend or making a new friend. We do it in small, slow, steady steps, and that allows us to become more comfortable either within our own skin or within our body, or if it was in another situation, in a new relationship or friendship. So again, slow and small, really take your time. When you're allowing your brain and body to connect, learning these new somatic movements, and then reinforcing them with your regular practice, it's allowing the synapses or the neural connections in your brain to deeply embed. So that's why the power of pausing and resting in between your movements is imperative to allow for your brain not only to be conducive to this new information, but to retain this new and ongoing information. So the second step I'd like to share with you is about closing your eyes. If you're comfortable to close your eyes for your somatic movement practice, you will actually find what that will do is increase your awareness to your internal environment, and it will decrease all the distractions and stimuli that are happening outside. So when you close your eyes down, or if it's uncomfortable to close your eyes, just have your eyes soft, look like a soft gaze somewhere in particular. But when your nervous system feels comfortable to close your eyes, notice how you can pick up the subtle little bits of information and feedback. So again, it's allowing us to become truly acquainted with what's happening internally. And obviously, we can then, from that information, know what we need to do to continue to regulate, recalibrate, and create that flexibility within our nervous system. Now, the third phase I'd like to share with you is this awareness to your movement practice. In particular, what I talk about and what I teach in Total Somatics is the process of pandiculation. If pandiculation is new to you, you will find lots of episodes in this channel, Total Somatics YouTube channel, or if you're watching this or listening to this through the podcast channels, it's Somatic Movement and Mindset. Please have a look. You will see plenty of episodes where I discuss in greater detail about pandiculation. However, if you want to see my TEDx talk, if you click on to YouTube and put in the search bar TEDx Heidi Hadley, you will find that my talk is actually about the process of pandiculation. So again, just coming back to this third point with the process of pandiculation, when you're learning pandiculation and when you continue to bring it into your daily practice, I'll be encouraging you to notice certain things, such as, are you starting to overcompensate with your movements? Are you beginning to over effort? And a classic example of this is if I'm encouraging you to do some pandiculations and clinical somatic movements whereby we want to open across your chest, I might encourage you just to gently press your shoulders into the floor, to breathe and expand into your chest and into your belly, to let that area release. However, if you are so tight in the chest area, in the shoulders, you'll find that sometimes your lower back will overcompensate and it will make a big arch. So your brain is so clever, it gives the illusion that you're opening your chest, but it's actually creating an adaptation. It's overcompensating for where there's rigidity elsewhere. And you can only notice that when we go back to our first point of making the movement slow and small. And also then it weaves into our second point. If we've got our eyes closed or we're keeping our gaze soft, it means that we're very heightened to, if there are little signs that we're overcompensating or over efforting, or there has been an adaptation where your lower back is overarching to give the illusion that you've opened across your chest. All of that is revealed in greater detail with my mentoring and my advice within the Total Somatics membership. So again, do check that out at totalsomatics.com and click on the Join Now page. But the fourth step I'd like to share with you is how we basically are going to start looking at, are we holding our breath when we're pandiculating? What are we doing with our breathing? Because often the case is if you're doing your pandiculation, if you're doing your clinical somatic movement, if you're not getting the cues to do so within your direction, within your movement practice, you can sometimes find that you're holding your breath. And this is a really, really important factor to consider because there can be stress. Remember the survival stress responses, they can be showing up. So what are you doing to manage that situation? This is whereby I would teach you within this Total Somatics membership strategies and techniques to allow that reverse breathing or that sucking your tummy in, or your stomach in, which is a stress response, how we start to regulate your nervous system so that as you're doing your movement practice, you are bringing in lovely deep quality breaths, as well as releasing those layers of tension and tightness that you've created by using pandiculation. So there is so many more things I'd love to share with you within the membership. But for today, if you can take those 4 points away as you're doing your clinical somatic movement practice, that is really going to heighten your skills and your awareness. I would like to emphasize, though, the importance to remind yourself that these 4 points are really important. However, we've got human nature, we've got our personalities that we have to manage, and there can sometimes be a tendency to chase unattainable goals or ideals or unrealistic expectations. So I want you to notice if that's creeping in. Remember, Total Somatics looks at your mindset too. And I'd like you to become aware if that feeling or that belief system, which could be taking us back for many years, it could be something that we grew up with. If you're finding that it's taken us back to telling us that we should be doing it a certain way, like a real perfectionism, and if we're not doing it right, then we're not doing it at all and we're like a failure. These are really limiting beliefs that can come up and they can hinder our practice, or they can amplify that stress response within our nervous system. So that's why pay attention to that personality trait that you may have of perfectionism. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that unless something is perfect, it's not worth doing at all. Remember, for many, many people around the world, they don't know how to pandiculate. We've lost that natural movement practice because of stress, because of sedentary lifestyles, because of the modern world that we live in. It's a natural, innate, intelligent practice. And when you are taught to bring it back in, you'll find that your beautiful soma will go naturally into those pandiculations. And that's why it doesn't have to be perfect. But as soon as you start to wake up the muscle to brain connection, all the self-care, self-healing is happening from within. Remember, your soma is incredibly intelligent. It just needs to get started with those techniques, that process of pandiculation, to fully recalibrate and regulate. So don't compare yourself to others. I'm always saying that. Remember, I've said previously, as a soma, we are so unique, from our bone structure to our belief systems to our upbringing, everything right up till today. We are incredibly special and unique. So the only person you want to compare yourself to is yourself, and ask yourself, how am I feeling today? How did I feel yesterday? Do I feel calmer today? Or what can I learn from yesterday to bring today? Or maybe because of how I was yesterday, I'm feeling calmer today. And from that, we can start to really increase our awareness and insight into how we are, what triggers us, and what can bring us back into a state of balance. And so that's why I'm just going to invite you to ask you these particular questions. And that is, have you noticed if your muscles or maybe your movements have started to become rigid or more tight? Have you noticed if your breathing has changed? I mentioned before, do you find you hold your breath a lot, or you just breathe really shallow right at the top of your chest and neck? Have you noticed that you might have like tightness in your chest, or maybe your shoulders are stooped forward? Maybe you've got a lot of neck tension, a lot of neck pain. What does your lower back feel like? How do your hips feel? Do you feel you've got one-sided health issues, maybe issues ongoing with the same side of your ankle, your foot, your knee, your hip, your shoulder? Have you started noticing if there are patterns? Because in life, there are patterns to everything. Have you started noticing what your patterns are? Do you feel overwhelm or maybe anxiety? Do you feel fear or anger? What do you feel becomes a bit of a default pattern or behavior that you see? You see, these are all signs of our nervous system becoming dysregulated. And unless we have the skills to be able to regulate our nervous system, we can live for many, many years in this state. So I'd like to invite you to learn how to recalibrate your nervous system, how to actually come back into a state of balance. And you'll hear me say it many times, to create flexibility and greater capacity within your nervous system, so that when you have these fluctuations of stress and chaos around you, you still have skills and strategies that you can do to create this inner calm and peace. So I'd love to invite you to join me and all the beautiful friends around the world within the Total Somatics online membership. So if you go to totalsomatics.com and click on the Join Now page, you will see there all the details about joining the membership. And very soon I will be closing the doors to the membership. I've had it open for a few weeks now, but usually we only have it open for a few days. So as we come to the close in the next few weeks, those membership doors will be closed for quite some time. So if you want to come in, please do. It would be lovely to see you. And also to let you know, whatever the price of the membership is when you come in, it stays at that price. It never changes. So that's just a thank you from me to you for your loyalty and your commitment to Total Somatics. So please take advantage of that special deal whereby the price is going to stay fixed at what it is. And as we move along and the price changes or increases, you won't be paying any more. So that's what's wonderful about Total Somatics. It's a thank you from me to you. So until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day and week wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you very soon. All my love and my very best wishes. Take care. Bye. Thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and also forward this on to somebody you know will benefit. To learn more about pain relief, plus how to improve your health and well-being, go to totalsomatics.com. Until next time, take care.